This is FYI on your TV, brought to you by Hometown News. I'm Kathy Botham, and I've got Amy Tibben back with me. You are the Outreach Coordinator at the Beth Donovan Hospice. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
It's always nice when you make the trip down here from Kempville.
Yeah, and it's been a little while, right? We had to
It
get
has.
through summer, and so I'm happy to be back. And
That's right. We're in the beginning of season 9 here at FYI. So
congratulations.
Thank you. We're so glad you're part of the team here too. So
thanks.
We've got lots going on with the Beth Donovan Hospice. So let's start with the Unlock the Beds campaign.
Yeah, so we are very privileged to be partnering with the Canadian Cancer Society. They reached out to us in an effort to increase the number of hospice beds that are in remote, rural, northern, underserved communities. And Beth Donovan Hospice in our region was selected by the Canadian Cancer Society, and their campaign is actually called Bring Care Closer, which is just so appropriate. Part of the challenge at end of life for many of our clients and their families is, you know, if they choose to have a death in a hospice bed, they have to drive in and out of Ottawa. Many of our caregivers don't drive in the city or won't drive at night or have those concerns, but also just the added strain of the travel to and from when perhaps you're caring for children at home. You know, we serve primarily a rural community. Maybe you're a farmer and the farm has to keep going, right? So to have that added challenge of driving in and out of the city to be with your loved one at end of life, we want to fix that problem. You know, in Canada, we're supposed to have 7 hospice beds per 100,000 people. And right now in Ontario, we have three hospice beds. So we're not even at the halfway point. So part of this campaign is to put pressure on all levels of government to get rid of the barriers. Beth Donovan Hospice has been fighting for over 30 years to have beds in our region. We want people in Kempville and the surrounding areas, Merrickville, Spencerville, to not have to drive to Ottawa for a hospice bed.
So what would that look like in the North Grenville area? Would that be at the Beth Donovan Hospice location? That would be?
So you're aware of our beautiful site on French Settlement Road.
Yes.
It features all of our administrative offices. It's where we do all of our volunteer counseling. We host our gatherings there. Our grief and bereavement programs run out of there. We have a medical equipment lending program there, but that space is pretty tight and it's also pretty busy.
Right.
So we would actually partner with another local organization who has a suite of rooms that are removed from the rest of the building and would provide that privacy. So that's our proposal and our plan moving forward, and that's what we're hoping for. But we are really looking for the community to go to our website, bethdonovanhospice.ca, and right on our landing page, there is a button that says Bring Care Closer. And there's a little button that you can click that says Learn More. It brings you to the Canadian Cancer Society page, and there you'll learn a little bit more about the situation around hospice beds, particularly in rural and remote locations. And if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there's a little form that you fill out with your name and your email, and it sends a letter off to government, to all levels of government. So in Kempville area, MPP Steve Clark would get that, asking and putting pressure on, asking to advocate for hospice beds in our area. And so you mentioned also Unlock the Hospice Beds. That's a new campaign that one of our volunteers reached out to the 73s. And so we'll be at all of the 73 games moving forward, promoting this idea of bringing care closer.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah. Another way of getting the word out there too, and to partner up with the 73s, that's wonderful.
It's just amazing, and we have such amazing volunteers and such amazing community partners that want to support this. Everyone knows the importance of having care close to home. At a time when you're going through so much strain and struggle and you want to be there for those important moments, we need to remove some of those barriers, and travel is one of them.
Right, and not be afraid to talk about it.
And not be afraid to talk about it.
That's right, that's right, that's right. You've got a Rural Hospice Day coming up. This is an annual event?
Yeah, this is our 3rd annual Rural Hospice Day, and we're so excited. Again, this idea for Rural Hospice Day came from one of our volunteers. We have such talented volunteers. And there are lots of palliative care conferences that people can attend, but the problem is that they're often in large city centers like Montreal or Toronto. They often take place over a weekend, so they're 2 or 3 days, and they're quite expensive. You know, you're paying anywhere between $200 and $1,000, and it's really great information. You know, for $1,000, you're going to get great speakers and great information, but it's just not accessible for most.
Right.
So our volunteer came and said, let's host an education day that is more accessible, affordable, we hope, good value for money still, and that's local, and that highlights the importance of talking about rural hospice care. So what are the unique challenges? What are our concerns, our issues that we deal with day in and day out, and our successes? What is everybody doing that's working really well? So the idea is to bring together rural hospices from across Ontario and to share ideas. And we're going to talk about fundraising, so important. You know, Beth Donovan Hospice is only about 50% supported by government. The rest of that money we have to find. So we're trying to find money while delivering quality end-of-life care.
Right.
Compassionate communities, we're going to talk about compassionate communities and how they can help fill the gaps that show up in rural hospice care. We're going to talk about medical assistance in dying. We're going to talk about, we have a whole panel discussion on gaps. In fact, our theme for the day is bridging the gaps. So how can we work together as hospice staff and volunteers to meet the needs of our clients in these remote and rural communities? So that's taking place Tuesday, November 5th. Mm-hmm. In Renfrew with our partners at Hospice Renfrew, who are just so amazing. They deliver such beautiful care to their community, and now they're partnering with us, and they've really facilitated bringing together all of these amazing speakers, many of them local. So we're learning from the people who are doing the work. That's super important.
Absolutely. I mean, and like when you're doing something like that, and you've got the local vendors, you've got the local speakers, and all the local resources, that's who you're going to be going to.
Yeah.
When you go to Montreal, Kingston, Ottawa, that sort of thing, you don't know these people.
Yeah.
You may learn about this sort of stuff,
Yeah.
but you don't know who.
Yes.
You're going to put a face to the who's.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when you
so,
go to this.
So they've really helped us partner with local folks who are doing this work, and that's so important. But we did bring in one big name. So we did seek out Dr. Michael Unger, who is the founder and chair of the Canadian Research Centre on Resilience. And he's coming in from Dalhousie University to talk to the volunteers, the staff, the caregivers of these community hospices about how do we nurture resilience in our caregivers, in the people who are doing this work. And I just really think that that's going to be so impactful and powerful.
Absolutely. I mean, you have to take care of yourself. You have to be mindful of yourself. This is hard work. It takes a big heart, and yeah, absolutely. You just need to take care of yourself too, and make sure you are doing that.
It is hard work, you know, and you do have to take care of yourself. And when our volunteer 3 years ago approached us about this, that's why we were like, yes, this is what we need to do. We support our volunteers, our caregivers, our community, and they in turn support us. So yeah, how do we build that resilience into our organizations and into our people?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Now there's tickets?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, we are selling tickets for $65. It's
so reasonable.
Such a great price.
Yes.
So it includes breakfast, lunch, snacks. Food is important.
Yes.
As well as our keynote speaker and all of the panels and learning sessions throughout the day. And tickets are available at ruralhospice.ca. And we really invite, yes, anybody who works in hospice care, but caregivers. You know, any of our partner organizations, people who help support anyone who's working in nursing or social work or PSWs or doctors, you'll really get something from this day. So it is open to everyone. And if you care about rural hospice care, we invite you to come and be a part of the day and share in the learning.
So what's the capacity of the day? What are you hoping to get?
Yeah, so our capacity is 200.
Okay.
So it's a smaller event, which is also really nice for networking and just getting to know people. And last year we sold about 140 tickets. I'd love to do that again, maybe 175.
Yes.
And we're starting to get close.
Excellent.
So people should get their tickets soon.
Excellent, excellent. Now, October 10th, you've got Lanterns of Love happening.
Yeah.
That's going to be beautiful.
It will be beautiful.
Have you done this before?
This is a new event
This is
for us. One of the things that we try to do is create community events where we can come together and share in our experiences around grief, where we can share in our talking or sharing about our experiences and anxieties around death and illness. So this one is grief focused. We're going to be meeting on Thursday, October 10th at Salamanders in Kemptville. There are tickets for sale. If you want to participate in the evening, it's $40, and the lanterns are $10. So there's going to be a little bit of food and drink, and of course Salamanders is right down there on the Kemptville Creek, and you'll have a lantern that you can put the name of a loved one who has recently died. You put their name on it, and then we will light them and we will set them in the Kemptville Creek to float downstream.
It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, and we're doing this just at dusk, and so the light and the reflections off the water and all of the meaning in it, I think, and the sense of community is going to be really beautiful.
Wonderful, wonderful. Pre-tickets, or do you want?
Yeah, we want people to purchase tickets in advance because we need to know numbers for food and how many lanterns to have as well. So if you go to our website, there is a link there to purchase tickets, or you can give us a call.
Right.
613-258-9611.
And the tickets again for Rural Hospice Day?
Go to ruralhospiceday.ca, but you can also get there by going to our website or giving us a call.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you very much for joining us and telling us what's going on at the Beth Donovan Hospice. You always have so much going on, but more so you're such good support for the people in our area.
And we thank you for supporting us.
Thank you.